Alright, welcome back. This is game 2 of our gold semifinals between HyppiCorpo as our purple Zerg in the bottom right, and in the top left we have our teal Protoss, Heartland Hitman Spork. HyppiCorpo has taken game 1, Spork having a bit of a strange decision in putting a gateway up in here, did not wall off his ramp. HyppiCorpo was absolutely relentless, ran right in with just a constant stream of Zerglings, and Spork could not hold that off. So much economic damage that was done, and eventually it was too much. That is the lesson. You need to at least wall off your ramp if you're going to go on any kind of one base play. Would still love to see the Forge Fest expand. It is standard just because it's so safe and it gives you that economic boost right from the start. But again, Spork is going for this one base plan. It looks like this time though he is going to be walling off. And this is old school. This is back in early Wings of Liberty. This was the way to play Protoss. Forge Fest expand did take a little while to actually start to perfect for the Protoss players. Alright, HyppiCorpo is not expanding first. He is going to scout because he did see that very strange opening in the last game. I think this is a very good move to get that early scout in. Gateway going down, should see a gas following. Now the question is he going to be going for some kind of like 3-gate, 4-gate, some kind of super aggressive opening? Or is he going to just try and use this to expand with some light pressure? Drone will come up and see this, and this will set off a few alarm bells for Hippie. Hippie, again, his main race was Protoss. He has switched to Zerg. He was a Platinum Protoss and is now a Gold Zerg, so he's still getting used to the race. Still got a few hiccups and a few kinks to work through, but he does have so much knowledge of the Protoss race that he will be able to know what kind of weaknesses he can exploit. Drone tries to hide, but will not actually have a chance. Oh, gets stuck, but will slip by and get a little bit more scouting in. Spawning pool is down for Hippie. Hatchery coming up, pool first, nice and standard. Cybercore coming down as well. We'll see now a wall off with a Zealot there. This is a bit of a strange little wall, but suppose that will work. Usually what you'll see is when you're trying to wall off like this as Protoss, you'll usually see a gateway here and Cybercore here, and you leave this little tiny spot for a Zealot to stand, and you put the Zealot in hold position, and there is your door. I don't know if this is a tight wall off or not. That's actually an interesting question for me. I would have to investigate that. I don't know if that's a tight wall off or not, and we may find out if Hippie decides to go for that super lean aggression again, but it doesn't look like he's going to be going for that. Is going more for economy this time around. Still a little bit behind on drones compared to probes, but once this hatchery is up, he will be doing just fine. Lots of minerals being saved up for Spork. We'll see that mothership core likely coming out very soon. Does have the 100 gas. Also need to see an expand or some sort of use of all that money that he's saving up. Some lings running out. We'll check for proxies and get some vision from those towers. Always useful, especially when you see a one-basing Oh, 4-gate. We're seeing a 4-gate. Alright, we have 4 gates coming down, and this is going to line up so nicely with this warp gate research. That is what he was saving up those minerals for. Now his plan is clear, and he will be doing plenty of damage if Hippie is not actually ready for this. Hippie is going to be building a spine crawler kind of blindly. We'll check, sees that there is no expansion, and when you see no expansion from a Protoss at nearly 6 minutes into the game, you know something is up. Something is going to be coming your way. You might not know what. You might not know if it's air. It might be void rays. It might be mortals. It might be something. But something is going to come in and ruin your day if you are not careful. We'll spot this proxy pylon. That is huge. You need that proxy pylon down for that 4-gate to actually get those reinforcements where they need to be. Where are his other pylons? Does he have any? He does, but Hippie is so good about finding these proxy pylons that he will be just fine if these go down. Does he have any probes that are actually out on the map? He does get a few warpins, and that will actually save this pylon. This pylon's so crucial to this push. This will be his reinforcement point, and he will survive. A robo going down as well. Spork is all in on top of all in. This is the all-innest of all ins. More spines going down. 2 already down. A third on the way. Already halfway done. If that can complete, he should be fine. Unless... Oh, so many spine hits and lots of lings to buffer. This is exactly what HyppiCorpo needed to do to hold this off. The trick, though, is can he hold off this ramp? If he just runs by up into the ramp, he can go into the main and start doing some terrible damage. Perhaps even terrible, terrible damage, if one were so inclined. 3 spines done, a 4th on the way. Would love to see a tumor just plop down right there and get the spines more alongside the ramp as well. Or this works just fine too. If you can put a tumor right there, get the creep out, get it at the top of the ramp, get the concave of spines up at the top, and you are good to go. Overlord will see that, again, there is still no expansion, so he knows that there is a huge amount of units on the way. Spine will get a poke, but... can Spork actually break up here? I don't know. He's invested so much into this attack, and he does have a Warp Prism on the way, but what is the Warp Prism really going to do for him? He already has a reinforcement pylon, so he doesn't need it for reinforcements, and it's not really going to help for the drops, just because he can't ferry his entire army up into the main. I don't know if the Warp Prism is going to be all that useful in this situation. And these lings are trying to get this pylon down, but a single zealot will stand guard. Beautiful decision by Spork, but HyppiCorpo now with the roaches as well will be able to hold off those zealots, and this attack is just not happening. The longer this goes, the better of a position HyppiCorpo is in. Then again, Protoss does have 26 probes to the 21 of Zerg. The trick is the tech. Those roaches will help out immensely, especially with that extra gas. But is HyppiCorpo over-defending? 27 to 27 in terms of workers now, and there is no expansion still in sight for Spork. So as soon as the pressure lets off, HyppiCorpo's economy will absolutely explode, leaving Spork in the dust. Oh, he is trying for a drop. 4 zealots in this Warp Prism, but this Overlord, beautifully placed, is going to spot both proxy pylons that were trying to place here, and this Warp Prism itself will bypass those spines. And they will get a few drone hits, maybe even a few drone kills. Will he try for the flank from behind? He cancels those warp-ins and does not try for the multi-pronged attack. Instead, gets a little bit fancy with those zealots. Protoss definitely more cost-efficient in this situation. And 24 lings are on the way, but... oh, now it's 24 drones to 27 probes. Layers now on the way. Twilight Council and an Immortal on the way. This has gotten all in even harder. This is all in 2, all in harder. Coming to a theater near you. Lots of lings coming out, and lots of lings against not upgraded zealots. Actually not that bad if they can get the surface area and the surround that they need. Warp Prism will do more attacks. Drones will get pulled. How many drones have gone down? 6 drones have been killed by Spork. Not bad at all. And HyppiCorpo isn't really remaking these drones, and that is so important. Zerg loses drones loses their workers more easily than the other races, but they can replenish those workers so much more easily in these big, big waves of production. But HyppiCorpo is not taking advantage of that. He's still making units, making a Hydralisk Den now, getting roach speed. And Protoss now with a lot of bank actually could drop an expansion, and he does. He does drop that expansion. This expansion is going up. This Overlord will see it. So he knows that the pressure isn't going to be quite as terrifying as it was before. This is a very, very tense game, though. Lots of spine crawlers going down. This base very heavily defended. Should be fine, but he might have over-defended a little bit, and he needs to start getting that drone production back up. Otherwise, he will be falling behind in economy, and that's not where you want to be as Zerg. 20 drones to 28 probes, and the zealots are being so obnoxious. Trying to attack. Oh, queued up. Those probably did not want to do that, but not the biggest of deals. Warp Prism will move out again. Has totally free reign until those queens decide otherwise. 13 roaches, 36 lings, 12 zealots, 2 immortals, and 13 stalkers. This is huge armies, given how this game has gone. This one-base Protoss play slowly evolving into an expansion, but it's so slow. But keeping the Zerg pinned on 2 bases, and the Zerg just so few drones and still not producing them. He is starting to make a few drones at a time, but he needs more than that to catch up, and he needs to saturate this base to actually take advantage of the fact that he has all these extra mineral patches to actually mine from, as compared to the Protoss who has just now gotten this base up. Zealot charge on the way, but on the flip side, Spork is not actually producing probes now that he has these 2 bases up. These 2 bases could be producing probes, could be getting him into an economic lead, especially if he can deny this 3rd. So important. And this army just sitting there looming all formidable out in the distance. More Immortals on the way will help against those Roaches, but not against the Lings. And the Lings are actually doing a huge run-by. Might actually be able to get up and into the base. Hippie knows the weaknesses of Protoss. Protoss is completely out of position. Lots and lots of Lings will run in. He knows this expansion is here. He knows he can do so much damage. The weapons will not be enough to actually defend against this. I think Spork has to turn around. No, he is moving in. He's going to go for the base race. He is giving up that expansion. He needs to block off the top here, and he does. He needs to hold position, and he does. He does block off that ramp, and he knows that now is his chance. If he can do damage, now is the time. He's taking out Spinecrawler after Spinecrawler. The Immortals going to town on the Roaches, and this might actually just be enough to break through HyppiCorpo. If he can take out Hippie's Natural, this might be entirely worth it. The Lings up here have been stopped by this little doorway of units that Protoss has. This ramp is now belonging to Protoss. And with the Warp Prism actually giving sight up on top of the ramp, this is a beautiful spot for Spork to be. Spork cannot... Hippie cannot actually go down that ramp. It is the ultimate choke of death. And but he's going straight for the main. This might be a mistake. The reinforcements of Lings might actually be enough, and giving that huge surface area is so dangerous, but he is blocking off and sandwiching with the Zealots. A beautiful move, especially with the Zealots now that have their charge, are able to take out so much. This Immortal being a bit lazy does need to get onto actually attacking something, and it does. And there is the GG from HyppiCorpo. Was able to take out the Natural, but not able to break into the main. Beautifully played by Spork. High aggression from both sides. GG 1-2-1.